Okay, let's begin. This is the complex area of two figures. And if you can see, this is a rectangle and the other one is a triangle. And this would be the height for the triangle. Now, look at this. If we have here that this is 8, this side is 8, well then this one will be 8. So let's write it down, 8. And if this is 19 and this is 13, then if we subtract 19 minus 13, we will get the amount that is for the height, which is 6. So I'm going to write it down, 6 inches. So now that we already have the height and we have the side, the height of the triangle, and we have the side of the rectangle, then we can begin and say, okay, the area for the rectangle is 8 times 13, which is 104 inches square. Please remember always to put inches square, kilometers square, because in area this is square for area. And now I'm going to find the area of the triangle. You know that the area of a triangle is base times height into 2. So let's substitute. The base is 8 times the height. That is into 2. 48 into 2, it's 24 inches square. Now, since they want the whole area, this whole area, that means I need to add them. And to add them, I need to say 104 plus 24, it's 128 inches square. And we're done. The next one, it's a figure that looks like if I have here a triangle and here another triangle. Now, can you see in here, in this place, if the whole thing is 1600, okay? And I have 200 here and 400 here. And 200 and 400 makes 600. So then this part must be 1,000 feet. Now, if this is 400, I need to know how much is this. And I already know if this is 300, well, this is 300. So I'm going to put it there, 300 feet. Now we can be able to find the area, and we can also find the perimeter of the whole figure. Now, we don't need for this one, I'm sorry, for this one we only wanted to find the areas. So let's see, the first triangle, which is this one. I'm going to do it. We have to multiply 400 times 1,000 and then divide into 2. The second one, we need to say 800 times, we are going to add 400 and 300, that's 700 into 2. Now, let's see the rectangle that we have here. So for the rectangle, I am going to multiply 1600 times 300, which is this. Now, after finding the areas, then we're going to proceed to add them all. Right now, I can say that 400 times 1,000, it's 4 with 5 zeros into 2, which is 2. This is 56 with 4 zeros into 2. We are going to do 28 with the 4 zeros. And we're going to multiply these, which is 16 times 3 is 48 with 4 zeros. And we're going to add it to this one. So it is 200,000 plus 280,000 plus 40. Oh, I put wrong this comma here. It should be a comma here. Okay, it's 480,000. Together it makes 960,000 feet square. What we did was to add all the areas. We added this one, and this one, and we got our final answer. Let's look at the next example. The next example, the figure, it's a trapezoid. So as a trapezoid, I know that my formula is base 1 plus base 2 times height into 2. Which one is base 1 and which one is base 2? I don't care if you call this base 1 or base 2. It's a base. And after we're done knowing how much is the area of the whole figure, I'm going to subtract this rectangle. So let's see. I have the information of base 1. Let's call this base 1. Let's call this base 2. So we say 30 plus 40 times the height, which is 15, into 2. So this is 70 into 15, times 15 into 2. The multiplication of 15 times 70, it's 1050 into 2. And that into 2 is 525 millimeters square. But that is including this rectangle. Now we need to subtract. The rectangle is 20, and it says 20. Let's go back to the drawing. Can you see that there's a line here, and that there's a line here, and that there's a small line here? When we have that in geometry, in any figure, it means that all the sides, which are, we're putting a symbol as a one line, all of them are equal. And if that is so, that will mean that this is 15 dividing the 15 into the 3. So that makes this a 5, and a 5. So the rectangle is 20 times 5, which is 100 millimeters square that we need to subtract. So let's do the subtraction. Minus 100 millimeters square, it gives us 425 millimeters square. And we're done. Remember, it is very important for you to understand, we don't care which is base 1 and base 2. Another thing that is important, figure or symbols like these ones, which means that those sides are equal. And how to do the procedure for this kind of problem, it's a subtraction. That means getting the whole area of the trapezoid and then subtracting the rectangle, you will have the final area. This is another example in which you have a rectangle and you have a trapezoid. Okay? Now, for the rectangle, you have the area of 8 times 4. The area of the rectangle is 8 times 4, which is 32 feet square. The area of the trapezoid will be the area of trapezoid will be 8 plus 14 times height. Height is this, base 1, base 2, times height, and that into 2. So we have 22 times 4 into 2. The area of the trapezoid, it's 88 into 2, which gives us 44 feet square. Now we're going to add these and these to give the whole area of the whole figure. So here we go. It's 32 feet square plus 44 feet square. It gives us 76 feet square. That's the final area. So as you can see, you only need to add areas, and in case of the other figures, well, you just have to determine what either you have to subtract or add. So remember your formulas.